Welcome back, viewers. Two sitting judges, distinguished judges, are with us, and we are discussing various aspects of their campaign and what the functions they are, doing as a judge. So, Judge Hind, what is the difference between Harris County functions and the Fort Bend County?
Well, obviously
what are the issues?
The issues, well, not living in Fort Bend County, I'm not as familiar with the specific issues that the voters in Fort Bend County are concerned about. In order to be a judge in Harris County, I have to live in Harris County. It's one of the requirements, and so if I were to move out of Harris County, I would have to step down. So I'm not as familiar with what's going on in Fort Bend. I know in Harris County, what a lot of the voters we meet are very interested in is how well government is working.
How do you see the difference in voters turnout?
You know, I think we're seeing some people who are very passionate about some of the issues.
Do you expect more turnout in Harris County, or in Fort Bend County there's a more turnout?
It's hard to say. Again,
it's hard to say. Okay.
You know, we have these elections every 2 years, and we call the ones that are 2010, 2014, we call that the gubernatorial cycle because the governor is on that ballot.
Okay.
And 2016, 2020, those are presidential cycles because the president will be on that ballot. And who's at the top of the ballot tends to affect how many people come out to vote. And so you see in presidential cycles, you see much more people come out to vote than you see in gubernatorial cycles. So you can't really compare this year to 2012 because it will be a lower turnout than 2012. The real question is, what will the turnout be compared to 2010? And I think we're probably going to see a little bit higher in 2010 than what we saw, or a little bit higher in this year than what we saw in 2010 because the county's grown. There are more registered voters, there are more residents in Harris County, so you're probably going to see more people come out this time.
Right.
I agree with that. I had the election in 2012, and we had 1.2 million people cast their votes.
In 2012, you were appointed.
I was appointed in March
Not
2012.
elected. Not elected.
No,
It was unexpired term.
I was appointed unanimously by the Commissioners Court in March 2012, but it went through primary in May and general election in November of 2012, and I won both the primary.
You had
and
to undergo
election.
this procedure.
Huh?
You had to undergo this procedure.
Yes, I went through these, so I know we had 1.2 million people casted their votes in 2012.
Okay.
Now, so I agree with the Judge Hind that this year, since it's non-presidential year, the turnout would be less than 2012. But what I have found out is that since 2012 was the first year we have a Chinese ballot. Means that all the position will be translated into Chinese. So I have seen a higher turnout from the Chinese Americans in our community. And we had a Vietnamese ballot for many years. So their turnout is probably higher every time. And that's why I'm going to ask your audience to really cast your vote, because this is your right. Voting is not, it's a privilege, I think. It's a privilege, and so don't waste that right. So think about who you like to keep in office or who you like to elect to the office.
Do come to vote.
Do come to vote, because people know that you voted. Although they don't know who you voted for or which party you voted for, they do know whether you voted or you didn't. And that really also show the power of the community. So I would encourage your community also, look at the candidates and decide who they're going to vote and cast their vote.
Are the opponents, both of you, are giving you the tough time these days?
Who gave me the
opponents? Your opponents?
My opponents? I think that he tried, but it didn't work.
But everyone has the right to.
Yes, it's just politics.
Yeah, it's politics.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, I've only seen my opponent twice since he filed. Doesn't mean he's not out campaigning, but I haven't seen him at hardly any other.
But I think
events.
the running of the campaign is an art. It is an art. You strategize your campaign. You prepare strategy for launching effective campaign. So some people have this art, some people have not. So I don't know. Do you people have that art of launching effective campaign? I don't.
I can answer that first. I actually like campaigning. I think that campaigning gives me opportunity to meet new people,
Yeah.
to get to know
Different
new
segments
friends.
of the society.
Like Mr. Hashmi, we get to know you, and I get to know you, and we're
And you get to know the TV1 also.
Yes, exactly. Without campaigning, I would not have the opportunity. So I really cherish the opportunity for me to meet different people and more people and get to know it just. And
How do you reach out to the Pakistani audience, Pakistani community, just to sign?
Well, part of it is finding ways to meet people like you, Hashmi, and having those opportunities to interact with people. And in the business sense, they call it networking, where you bring your, whether it's during campaign season or not, you're going to events, you meet people, you exchange business cards, trade messages, get to know each other. And through that process, you start growing out this network of people, and you move into different communities that way. And so, like, I met you a few days ago at one of these opportunities, and I felt like we hit it off very well, and I really enjoyed visiting with you. And then you take those opportunities and you expand it out. But it takes effort on both sides. It takes an effort on the elected official to go out into the community. And this is a very large county, I have to tell you. It's very large. It's bigger than several states territorially, as well as population-wise. So there's that challenge, as well as you need the community to come out to events where elected officials will be. You need people to also make an effort to come out and reach out their hand to visit with people. And it's just, like any community activity, once you start taking those steps towards each other, you develop the opportunities to meet, visit, and grow, and become better acquainted with each other.
Yeah, every community has certain people, community elders, who have influence, who can influence the opinions of other people. So, to meeting with those people counts a lot. It matters a lot, and you must, I think, meet those kind of people, and you are meeting with those people. There are other things I want to ask, that in every state and every country, every state of the America and every country has different rules and different procedures to follow for the appointment of the judges. In some states, elections are being held to elect the judges, but in some states, judges are appointed. So why this? Is a difference between the procedures?
As a state, make that decision. Really, but I think if you ask for my personal opinion, I would go with election of judges.
Why?
Because I think that people should have we should hear people's voice.
People should have say in that.
Yes, and also give the judges.
But this is not the political appointment.
No, it's not. And the judges should not be political at all. But I personally think that, like I said, they give me opportunity to get to meet different people. I get to meet you, and I hope this is not just the end. I hope this is the beginning. That because without me campaigning, your committee will not invite me to your functions to get to know me, and so I hope this is a beginning that. You will continue to visit with me, continue to invite me to your program. I would love to come to other programs you have next year or the year after, and I think that's the beauty of the society is everybody get to know everybody.
And what do you think? Should elections be held for the judges, or the appointment should be made?
Well, I think in the state of Texas, until the voters decide to do it another way, it's always going to be election of judges, because it's baked into the Constitution of the state of Texas, and so the voters would have to pass a constitutional amendment to do that. But to the broader question, why do some states elect and why do some states appoint? You really have to go back to the origins of the United States, and you can look in the Declaration of Independence, and some of the grievances that they listed in the Declaration of Independence had to do with the way the English were administering the courts in the colonies. They were depriving colonists of the right to trial by jury. They were appointing judges back in England and sending them over to the colonies to try those cases. And so after the Revolution, there was a backlash in the colonies about the manner in which judges were selected. And so you saw several colonies wanting to try something different. They elect other officials, why not elect judges as well? In Texas, it really has to do with the Texas experience after the Civil War. When Texas was under Reconstruction, the military governors were appointing people to be judges, and as soon as Texas emerged from Reconstruction, it passed the Constitution of 1876, which is still in force to this day. And one of the things they didn't like was the northern judges who were appointed over them. So they made sure that they were going to decentralize that power by putting in provisions that judges would be elected. And it's been that way ever since. And except for certain municipal judges, all the judges in the state of Texas are elected. Now the federal judges are appointed by the president, and that's a different system, and that goes back to the constitutional debates in Philadelphia in 1787. So there's a little bit of tension there. But basically, why do they do it the way they do? It just depends on that particular state's history and their experience with authority.
But in different other countries, they have a perception, they have a rule that a judge should keep distance from the public. So a judge should be appointed, not should be elected. So they believe that a judge should not mix with he or she should not participate in events, community events, public events, government events. He should remain away. So, but here is not. You believe in mixing with the people.
I think that goes with that how our legal system in the United States is, and I really love it. And because we have a jury system, you have a people just like you to decide whether you're right or wrong in your lawsuit, and if you're right, how much damages you get. And I think jury system is the crown jewel of our judicial system. And then for electing judges, when we decided the decision, if it's a matter of laws, for the judge to decide, and there's case laws. And so if you look at the case law, it's really the case law will be changed along with the society. So I think here, really legal system is with people, not be away from the people.
Right. So viewers, judges are with us. We are discussing on various issues. Take a break. Stay with us. We come back.